The character of Spider-Man is one of the most beloved and relatable superheroes of all time. From his endearing attitude to his hilarious one-liners, it's hard not to love Peter Parker. For the past 2 decades, 3 actors have donned the suit, and they all have their unique takes on what it means to play Spider-Man. Here are some of our favorite interview moments with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland. Number 1. When Tom Holland went undercover at an American high school.
Wouldn't it be funny if I went to an American high school undercover to see what it would be like to be an American high schooler? And Marvel were like, that's amazing, let's set it up. The Bronx School of Science, which is a school for genius kids, and believe me, everyone, I am not no genius. I had like an accent, a fake name, a backstory.
What was your fake name?
Ben Perkins, who's my acting coach from when I was a kid. But they paired me with a kid called Arun, and I was supposed to be his brother or something like that. And Arun is an Indian kid, and when I came in, everyone was like, is that really your brother? So I was sitting next to this very pretty girl in class, and she's like, hey man, what's your deal? How are you here? I was like, well, let me tell you my secret. I'm actually Spider-Man. She's like, dude, you're fucking nuts, bro. What the hell, really? I just looked like some nutter that showed up for 3 days and then disappeared.
Number 2. When Andrew Garfield surprised fans at Comic-Con. Before he dropped in on Emma Stone on SNL, the amazing Spider-Man Andrew Garfield surprised the crowd at Comic-Con on what he described as the most incredible day of his life.
So thanks for having me. I've always wanted to come here as a fan, and this is my first time, so here I am as a fan. And this is definitely the coolest moment of my life, and thank you for being here and sharing it with me.
Number 3. When Andrew Garfield showed off his first Spider-Man costume. At time it was taken back in 1985. The family were living in Los Angeles. They then moved to London shortly after.
Very, very cute picture of me as a 3-year-old in a very, very cute Spider-Man costume that my mother made by hand out of felt, and it's incredible. And yeah, I think the agents did some emotional manipulation, and it seemed to work.
Number 4. When Tom Holland described acting in a suit.
It's definitely difficult. I mean, as an actor, you use expression with your face to convey emotion. And when you take that away, you have to figure out how to do it with your physicality. My secret weapon is that I will always pretend like my arms are dead, so that when I move, my arms kind of swing around, and so Peter Parker's hands are always doing the most crazy stuff. But it's also sometimes a great thing, like if I've gone out the night before and had a little bit too much to drink, if I've got a mask on, no one knows, so it's fine.
Number 5. When Tom Holland showed off his first Spider-Man costume.
Yeah.
So that was genuinely yours?
That was my first ever Spider-Man costume, yeah, which my lovely mum who's here tonight kept for me. I slept in that thing. That thing still stinks today. There's no washes that can make that thing wearable.
Number 6. When Tobey Maguire discussed the infamous kissing scene.
And there was rain pouring up my nose, or down my nose if you consider the fact that I was upside down. Kirsten pulls the mask up to hear it. It's blocking my air passage there, so I couldn't breathe. And then she's kissing me, and she's blocking the air passage there, so there's nowhere else to breathe from. And I would have to suck air out of the side of my mouth in the middle of kissing her, and it was really tough, actually. They'd yell cut, and I would just go totally out of breath. It was torture.
Number 7. When Tom Holland was told he was going to get the part for a bizarre reason.
When I was going for my last audition, and I had this driver, lovely guy, but a little bit too honest, sort of sitting there really awkward, he's looking at me, he goes, you know what, kid, I think you're going to get it. I'm like, really? Why? And he goes, you know what, I think you're going to get it because the kid that I just drove there, he is so good looking. Months later, when I was shooting the film, and he goes, I told you. I was like, what did you tell me? That I was going to get the part or that I was ugly?
Number 8. When Tom described drinking with his suit on.
The eyes pop out, and there's a hole underneath the eye socket where we used to be able to feed a tube down.
Oh, no.
And I could drink without taking the suit off, because it takes a lot of time. There it is.
Number 9. When Tobey Maguire talked about sneaking into theaters to watch Spider-Man.
I remember on the first Spider-Man, a bunch of us took a bus and rode around, and
and went to a couple of theaters and watched for, pieces of the film. And yeah, it's fun. It was fun to do that, and it's been fun to do that.
Number 10. When Andrew Garfield was asked about the leaked image, he talks about the time he accidentally flashed the audience during a performance of Angels in America and addresses rumors surrounding Spider-Man.
It was around, and we all saw it, and
I heard about it, and I did see it, and it's a Photoshop.
we say no.
I'm trying to manage expectations. You say no. Oh, you say no. Yeah.
We're saying no.